We're live here.
Oh, we are live.
Hello, Instagram. Welcome back to Lexington Capital Holdings. We're still just letting some people come in onto the LinkedIn side, but we're excited. We're back for another webinar. My name is Thomas again. This is Joe.
It's been some time.
That it has. But we're ready to get back into it. Today, we're going to be talking about partnerships 101. What to expect when working with us, our products, our programs, our process, really everything in between to make sure that you guys have all the information that you need when it comes to finding the right partner.
Yeah, really just finding the real value of working with Lexington and the flexibility and abilities that we can really present to you guys, right? And add value to your platform, but more importantly to your clients as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to onboarding, our onboarding process is extremely simple. You'll have a conversation with one of us on the team, whether it's me, Joe, Joseph, Brandon, Damien, Steve. There's quite a few of us here. All of them are extremely knowledgeable in all of our products and programs, so they'll be able to answer any questions that you do have. From there, we would send out our agreement. Once that agreement is signed, you are officially signed up as a partner of us. The only thing that we would need would just be some general banking information so we could pay you out your commissions.
Yeah. Overall, the process is very smoothly, like Tom said, really just have an intro call. Really, right, we want to discover exactly what you do. More importantly, so we can figure out where we can plug in and add that value, right? Every client, every partner of ours is different. Some of our partners like to be very hands-on, which we welcome. It helps our process be more efficient, and closing ratio is definitely higher when we have our trusted advisors behind us. And then we have other partners that just want to hand off. More than happy to take over the file, do what we do best, and update you as we progress with your client when it comes to the funding options here.
I do definitely like that you added the hands-on, hands-off.
Yeah.
Because we do understand not only is every client different, but every partner is different.
Yep.
Some of our partners like to refer through our partner portal. Some like good old-fashioned email threads, spreadsheets, text messages, whatever makes your life easier and causes the least resistance with the client themselves. We're more than happy to adhere to.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah, just like Tom said, we're very open-minded. Like I said, there's really two ways, or maybe three ways to refer business to us. One, which we'll talk about more in details, right? We have a partner portal, which is going to give you access to really upload any files. It'll actually give you affiliate links if you want to, blast email or even text your clients to be more hands-off this specific referral link. There's marketing materials in this portal, but right, you can also submit your clients through that portal, right? Or you can be old-fashioned, do email threads with us, put us in group chats with text, right? We'll get very unique. It's really what's best and what works for you guys.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. On top of that as well, just the customer service in general. Not only are you going to have a partner relationship manager, you will also be assigned to a senior business advisor as well. They're really there to work heavily on the client side of things. That's very advantageous for you for a multitude of reasons. Every time you bring a client over, you already know who they're going to be speaking to. Which is very helpful. It helps you build a relationship with your managers as well. You get to learn each other, learn each other's personalities, and see what clients really would work best with them. As well as that, they're going to be on top of your file all the way through their process at Lexington, making sure that they flow through the pipeline correctly.
Yeah, I mean, the beautiful thing about working with us, and we'll dive in on some of our products in a little bit, but right, we want to keep your clients in-house as much as possible. So especially our senior advisors, when we do tag them in, right, we're going to always steer the client in the best direction of what they qualify for, right? Every client's gonna have different criterias, different industries that we're working with. The beautiful thing with us, we have so many pivot points and so many different products that we have that we can offer and present the client. And really, it's our job finding the best thing available in the marketplace, and we'll pivot exactly towards that product for your client here.
Absolutely, and that's one thing to add to when it comes to working with different partners in different industries as well.
Yeah.
We work with a lot of people who do alternative financing, a lot of people who do SBA. When you bring a file over to us, we know exactly what it is that you do. And so there's not going to be any, how would you say?
Yeah, really, we're not trying to, or step on your toes, right?
Yeah.
Right, never want to step on anyone's toes, right? If you guys focus on one thing, you guys are great at doing equipment financing, right? Right, that's your sweet spot. Awesome, right? We want to provide value in other sectors. If someone needs working capital, an SBA loan, a line of credit, right? This is where we're going to be providing value to your platform for your clients.
Absolutely. So, I mean, Without further ado, let's dive into the products a little bit.
Yeah.
So the great thing about Lexington Capital Holdings as a company, as well as a partner of yours, is the versatility and robustness of our platform. So not only do we offer alternative financing, we are also very, very prevalent in the traditional sectors as well, whether it be bank lines of credit, whether it be equipment financing, term loans, SBA, whatever the case may be, we have an option out there for them.
We do. Like Tom said, to piggyback off, right, there's two sides. We really focus on the alternative space and the traditional space. To kind of talk about more alternative and exactly how these products do plug in and how they are qualified, really 3-4 things we look at, right? It's going to be looking at revenue of the business, which is the most ideal thing, right? Any alternative lenders are very revenue-based products. So we do need to have established businesses having gross revenue flow into a business account, right? Pretty simple. Right. We're looking there. We're looking at the credit. We're looking at time and business, and then also industry. These are going to be key factors to what lender essentially we can place this file with and to get pretty quick approvals on.
Yeah. One thing I did want to touch on briefly that I think I overlooked.
Yeah.
Another addition to when it comes to the partnership, we're very big on expectating our partners.
Yeah.
So if you bring us a client, it'll take us all of a minute and a half to look at the file as a whole and kind of see what kind of program that they're going to fit into, just so you are aware of what kind of program we're going to be looking for. And then we can game plan from there before we even get in contact with the client themselves.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many situations where I love scenarios. So, right, even if you don't have any of the upfront docs, but you kind of have an idea exactly what the client does, where revenue is around, right? We can give you a ballpark range of what we believe. Obviously, until we review the documents, we'll have a way better feel. But, right, even to run scenarios by us, we'll give a pretty accurate opinion on where we can place this file. That way, you guys can go back to your client, let them know where we'll be around, and then we can package up the deal and keep the ball moving.
Absolutely. So back to alternative financing a little bit more.
Yeah.
One of the most advantageous things about that program would be, honestly, the speed of it, as well as the lack of documentation that you need to provide. So it's very, very easy on the clients. We understand business owners are generally operating their businesses every day. They don't necessarily have the time to sit there and go through all this paperwork and take 10, 15, 20 different calls. It's a lot of headache. So that program specifically will eliminate all of that. We can get funding the same day in their bank account if they need something quick for inventory or a piece of equipment that's on sale, whatever the situation may be.
Yeah, this product is so doable for a lot of clients that they really don't understand that's out there, right? It's really for clients that are non-bankable or even clients that are bankable, right? These products play a great role. It's just about, where we're using the money for, right? There needs to be a return on investment. You got to have use for the funds. Otherwise, sometimes these products may not make sense in the short term, right? So identifying that with the client, the use of funds, what we're using it for, and right there, right, we can paint a picture and we can get these options on the table.
Another big part of alternative financing that I feel like is overlooked is there's multiple different kinds of programs offered in there.
There are.
It's not just shorter term financing. There are fully amortized multi-year term loans, as well as line of credit options. So there's a lot that you can do there. Nothing's really so clear cut. It all really depends on the file, what kind of offer that we're going to be looking at. And the best part about it too, it's no hard credit checks, no obligations, just to simply see what you're qualified for and see if it makes sense.
It is. Like Tom said, like these products are sweet because, you might come across a client that's got amazing cash flow, but their credit just doesn't check off to be bankable, or financials just aren't in order, right? This client may qualify for one of our most premium alternative products on a line of credit, where we can put in place very quickly and do without any financials, simple bank statements, application, and we can fund this in 24 hours. So it is pretty fascinating what we can get accomplished, once we open up, the door with our lenders.
Absolutely. So now to branch off a little bit and go to a little bit more on the, what we would say, traditional or banking side of things. So quite a few different programs really do fall into that kind of traditional umbrella. One of the more popular ones on our side that we love to do is the lines of credit. So we work with, I'd say, about 25 of national and regional banks in the United States.
And credit union at this point. Yeah, we're always adding more banks to our platform. That's the diverse thing about us.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because it all really depends a lot on geographical location as well. There's a ton of banks that only work in certain states, a ton of credit unions are only located in certain areas. So whatever we can do to get the client the best situation, we're going to happily go out of our way to do. Now, those programs are amazing because there's a lot of different nuances towards them rather than alternative. So you can have someone who doesn't qualify for an alternative product, and they don't even know that they really do qualify for a traditional product. They just weren't going necessarily to the right source. And that's also a huge thing that really we provide a lot of value is it's just our in-depth knowledge on how these banks work, how to get them approved, and what to do to make sure that the file's presented in the best possible light for the banks.
Absolutely. And, the beautiful thing about our traditional options, like Tom was saying is, right, we're working directly with corporate bankers, right? So it adds so much value to the client's platform where, right, we're able to bring them to multiple different corporate bankers, stay away from their local branch managers where it's very tough to get things done. But with this product, and we can dive a little bit more, it's pretty much polar opposite than alternative lenders where these guys are very credit sensitive, right?
Yes.
So we do need to have credit in check to be eligible. But the flexibility is that we can work with somebody that has zero revenue or very low rev, brand new business. As long as credit's in check, right, we can open up our conversations with our corporate bankers here.
Another huge thing about that, their credit doesn't necessarily always have to be in check as well.
Yeah.
We do offer products that will work with a cosigner. So whether it's a friend, family member, they don't have to own any ownership of the business to be able to get some options on the table on that side of things. Anyway.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about this product is it's all business funded. So everything reports directly to the EIN of the business and builds business credit immediately, especially in the traditional world, right? It's just we provide so much value in so many different fields. But the best thing is like letting us know so we can pivot this client in the right direction and have these more formal conversations.
Absolutely. Working with the corporate bankers, another thing to add on to that. The second they get the file, they know exactly what we're going to be looking at. So they'll let us know, hey, listen, this guy can qualify for a line of credit. They can qualify for a 0% interest business credit card. They can qualify for a term loan. And they're more than happy to help the client in the best way possible. So we can get them multiple different products, one product, whichever works best for them at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. And to kind of even talk about it in more depth, like these products are all compatible for each other. You might have a client that is eligible for alternative lending because they got good cash flow and they got great credit. So they're going to be eligible for traditional. So this is a situation where we can plug in short-term capital or even our term products in the alternative space if they need money quick. And on the back end, always work with our traditional options. So, we are here for flexibility, especially for those clients that got to bridge their invoices. They don't get paid 30, 60, 90, 120 days, right? We have so many different sources that we can plug in immediately. And then on the back end, offer more of the premium products with traditional banks.
Absolutely. And these programs, they're your standard prime rate based programs. So, generally they're floating around 9 to 12% APR. So extremely affordable. Forever revolving on the lines of credits as well. So as long as your business is operating and you want the line of credit open, it'll be there for you no matter what.
Awesome. Yeah. As we're going through any questions, definitely throw in the chat here. We're here to answer anything that comes up. And yeah, absolutely.
We want to touch on probably the term loan side of things.
Yeah, the term options.
Yeah.
I mean, like when it comes to different term options, when it comes to alternative funding options,
like traditional, or like
traditional,
SBA,
SBA. I mean, like really, where we've been specializing in, especially SBA, is our Express program. Right, we get very intensely involved in our Express program, where typically we can go up to 500K here, and we're seeing great results with our bankers. Kind of the same process what we do for our traditional option, where we'll grab basic documents on the upfront from the client here, or from the RP. And we want an intro call with our SBA director. Absolutely. Right on that intro call, our director will literally break down a pre-approval based on the tax returns of what's realistic and what's not. So we're very transparent through this whole process. And the beautiful thing about the SBA program, it is such a fast process. If we're getting everything in, we can get this done in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks to run an SBA program here. It's pretty unheard of.
Especially with the Express program, we've seen, as long as you have the financials in order and you're communicating and working with us well, I've seen it be closed as short as 8 days.
Yeah.
And that's a fantastic thing about our team specifically. We're here on the weekends. We're here past work hours. So any of your clients ever have a question, they can reach out to the bank room, they can reach out to the SBA
Mhm.
team, the equipment team, the alternative financing team, and they will be ready to answer any question at any time, take documents,
Yeah.
submit documents, and that just in turn pushes you through the pipeline
Yeah.
so much faster than really any other company in the space.
So many scenarios where I have partners that schedule phone calls with our directors internally at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, and our directors are taking these calls to keep the ball moving. Right, we're
Yeah.
very open to this. Right, we want to earn everyone's business. We want to do everything right. Right, so communication is everything, and we're willing to work very hard for these clients as well.
It's super helpful because during work hours, like I said before, they're operating their business. They don't necessarily have the time
Mm-hmm.
to sit there and collect their thoughts and have an actual sit down conversation about financing. Only till really after is when they're going to be able to have that type of correspondence, as well as that for the partners. I mean, you guys are doing whatever your industry is throughout
Yep.
the day, whether you're a CPA during tax season or you're alternative financing company similar to ours. The workday is very busy. So afterwards, you're looking through your files, you see what can come to us, you want to have a conversation, you have a couple questions. As long as we're awake and I can hear my phone ring, I'm answering the phone.
I agree. I literally have my phone on all the time, and if I don't answer, I can guarantee I'm getting back to you as soon as I'm off the phone, if I'm on the line. Like we move very quickly, and all about the pace.
Yep.
If the client wants to move slow, we'll move slow. If the client wants to move fast, we'll keep up the pace. So it's however you guys want us to plug in here.
Absolutely. One thing that's amazing about our company is the way that we all communicate.
Yeah.
So our alternative financing team, traditional financing, SBA, equipment, we are all speaking to each other all throughout the day, which makes pivoting extremely quickly. If we have someone that we're working something alternative, but maybe necessarily they don't qualify for it for whatever reason,
Yeah.
we immediately switch over to another program. If that program is going well, but they're also looking for equipment, no problem. We go right over to there. So just the constant back and forth between our departments keeps everything very open, transparent, and opens up a lot of different opportunities for financing in a much quicker time frame than you would probably receive anywhere else.
Yeah, but most of the time, more than half our clients, right, they're running multiple programs to us that they're eligible, right? They want to see their options, see what they're eligible for, and right, we're here to present basically the best options that we can find available on the marketplace. So having team, especially like Lexington, right? Because we do have, like Tom said, separate departments here that are all in sync at all day hours of the time, where we're able to pivot so quickly and making sure your client gets that right product at the right time.
Absolutely. That's the power of a broker at the end of the day, really, is looking for the best thing for the client. And having each individual program have its own separate dedicated department is a massive advantage, because that you're going to have a dedicated team focused solely on that for your client. So it's going to go extremely.
They're dedicated, and they're dedicated in that space as well, right? So when we do alternative lenders, we have our directors in that space that specifically only work on their products. So they know our lenders like the back of the hand.
Yep.
Same thing with equipment. They know the qualifications. They know the lender, the process, SBA, right? So it's very easy to qualify these clients once we get on a call and once we have the initial docs that we need to run the program.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, any questions that you guys have, feel free to shoot them in the chat. We're here accepting any and all correspondence. But
I want to pivot back more towards partnering with Lexington and really the value, obviously, we perform. Obviously, we talked about customer service, all these different products that we can pivot to our platform. Definitely want to talk about it at the end of the day, right? You guys don't do this for free.
Yes.
I understand, right? We obviously want to get the best choices, best thing for your clients, but right, the biggest thing is that we pay out commission splits.
Yes.
Right, and we pay it two different ways. We pay initial funding, which is obviously first time funding, first time transactions here, and then we pay renewals. And what that means is when a client is coming back for an extra product, or they're going to a different product on our platform, right? This is technically a renewal. We pay out the same split every single time. So building a book of business is essential, right? No one. The way I look at it, the point of being in the finance industry is so you can have residual income on clients. You can keep earning money. You can build a book of business and sit back and essentially relax when you want to retire and have a residual on your clients. And that's the beautiful thing about Lexington Capital is every time your client does come back in the pipeline, we keep paying you out.
Absolutely. I'm really happy you did bring that up too, because there's a couple more as well.
Yeah.
We do also offer payments on redraws. So if they do get some sort of alternative line of credit program, every time the client does draw from that, we would get paid out, which in turn you would get paid out as well. On top of that, we do also have an override feature in our agreement. So anybody that you refer over
Yep.
that does refer over business and funds, you would also collect a percentage of that on a very passive income side of things.
Yeah, like we understand, like, you know, everyone may not be connected to business owners, but you know, right, you may be great at networking, you know, CPAs, you know, credit repair business consultants, right? Feel free to refer over these potential partners. We'll onboard them, and anytime they send in business, we give you an override for that referral. So it's a great way just to have passive income and essentially doing nothing besides making that first introduction to us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like you said, the book of business is the most important part, as well as that the no changing commission is huge.
Yeah.
We also, I wanted to add on, we don't have any minimum submissions monthly. We don't have any fees that we charge you for partnering up with us. We have partners that pop in once a year with a file, get it funded, and then we'll catch you in the next year. You know, we're all just really here to help at the end of the day. The ability to be able to work with startup companies adds a whole different aspect to it. So there's no minimum monthly revenue they have to be doing in certain scenarios. It's really a very open, kind of come and go as you please type of situation.
We try to get creative any way possible. And look, we're always a growing company. We always take ideas, and you know, we feed off our partners with ideas as well. So any feedback for our company only adds value, right? So, and we're always adding more programs, more lenders, more products every single day, open up different departments, right? So essentially at the end of the day, we want to just provide the best value, best customer service to yourself as the partner, and obviously the clients here.
Absolutely. One thing I did want to dive a little bit deeper into is the a little bit more on the traditional side, the Lexington line of credit, or the LexLock as we talk about it. That product specifically is amazing. I know I touched briefly on cosigners, but just to dive a little bit deeper into that one specifically, that allows us to fund what a lot of people would deem unfundable in the alternative space. So when it comes to operating a brokerage, we understand heavily how that goes. There's a lot of leads that you cannot monetize for whatever the case may be. This program specifically opens up a whole door of revenue for the business that really is very easy to get. The only document that we need for that program is just a tri-merge credit report for whoever is going to be the credit partner on that. And then we'll take the file from there and run with it. And you could turn something that would be maybe like a $200 ticket for your company into a $4, $5, $6, $7, $8,000 ticket. You get the client exactly what they're looking for. You get paid, we get paid. Everyone's happy. On top of that, we can also run multiple different businesses with that program.
I was about to hit that.
Yeah, so we can run multiple different businesses with that program. It really is just all around a fantastic situation for, again, us, the client, and you as the partner.
Yeah, like Tom said, we want to get as unique as possible. You know, so like I said, we do allow cosigners for this program. We do, and we can, and we always do run multiple businesses. You might have someone that has 2 or 3 LLCs or a corp and LLC, right? And we need to achieve this funding amount. They're like, hey, we need 150, 200K, whatever it may be, right? We can strategically plan, all right, let's run 2 LLCs so we can hit our goal, right? So we will map this out and strategically plan on what's going to be the best way to identify and how we can reach our limits here when it comes to this program.
Absolutely. One more thing I do want to touch on too is co-brokering.
Sure.
So from the merchant cash advance side of things, we understand how that space they're looking for and get you guys paid as well. As long as you get that client on your books, they're going to like you because you did the right thing to get them the best product possible. They're going to come back to you every single time.
Every single time. And just to touch on that too, just as in a whole, on how we pay renewals, the sweet thing about us as well is depending on the product that we are in, a lot of times we know exactly where this client is in their payment history. So, you know, that might be 40, 50, 60% paid in. They're eligible for renewals, right? So we're going ahead, we're reaching out ourselves to these clients to bring them back in the pipeline, right? So there's going to be times where a client comes back in, we get funding, and boom, we're paying out another commission, right? It happens all the time, and there's no better phone call I make to let my partner know, hey, we just got this guy an extra $100K, and you're getting written a 3K commission check. They had no idea. They love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I want to shout out our renewals team for that, especially. Once your client is funded, they're not just gone in the wind. We have a whole dedicated department specifically dedicated to reaching out to past funded clients, just to say hello, see how the process is going, see if they have any questions, need any advice, or see if they need more financing. And from our side of the neck of the woods, rather, we know that business owners are always looking for financing for constant expansion, building their inventory, whatever the case may be. So rather than them go to another company because they already completed the funding with us, we have our renewals team constantly reaching out, making sure that if they ever need anything, they can always come right back.
Yep, absolutely. And just to touch on as well, right? We're very obviously hands-on, as you can tell. And we're here to help market as well if you need any materials, right? We have an in-house marketing team, which is awesome, where we will write up materials with your logo, branding yourself, specialize in our highlights of our products, our Lexington line of credit, our SBA program, equipment financing program, right? We can custom tailor specific marketing materials to try to draw more business, or give to your local CPAs or credit repair businesses to try to earn their business as well, to sign up as affiliates.
Absolutely. I mean, clients, they come about in many different ways. But like you said, whether it be emailing with affiliate links, whether you're going to chambers of commerce meetings and meeting the business owners face to face, there's a ton of different ways to drive in business. And the more business you drive into us, obviously, the more money we make together. So we're more than happy to help you in any way possible. We can make email templates for you, script if you need it to pitch certain products. Because I do know, a lot of people, they specialize in a certain thing. You might not be so keen or savvy to the ins and outs of the financial world. So we're more than happy to give you any and all information possible.
Yep, absolutely. And right, like I said, we're here to help support any way we can possible, make life easier, and keep funding your clients.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to touch on the override a little bit more.
Sure.
So it's not just people that you refer over specifically to be a client, or to be a partner rather, but even a lot of the own clients that we do fund become partners themselves. So you will be accredited to that as well. If you send over a client to us and they sign up for our partnership program, you will be compensated for all the deals that they do provide over as well.
Absolutely. And you'd be surprised, right? We help, let's say you refer over a business, Mr. or Mrs. Business Owner, we get funding. Ask them for referrals. Business owners know other business owners, right? And once they have one good experience with yourself, with our company, and, backtracks to you, right? They're going to want to refer over their colleagues. Typically every small business, medium-sized startup always needs access to capital to grow. It's very hard to self-fund yourself and want to grow to a rapid speed. If you can self-fund yourself, props to yourself, but you're going to be limited to what you realistically can do. Taking out different products and, having a return investment and a plan with our solutions is really going to be a key to growing a business more rapidly.
That's a really big tip to pay attention to what kind of clients that you're coming across. If you're submitting a lot of CPAs, tax accountants, whatever the case may be, that they are likely involved with business owners as well. That's a perfect person to ask for referrals from. The one, what is it? Everybody knows three people.
Yeah, literally.
So before you know it, you're going to have an army of affiliates of your own, just to make some extra money.
I do it all the time. I'm like, hey, I'm just networking around. Is there anyone you can refer me to? Like, at the time, they appreciate me networking around and try to make myself as a better person. And they end up sending me clients and contact info to call.
Absolutely.
So only way to find out is asking.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, really to recap the partnership program as an essence, referral-based program, anybody you have who's looking for financing, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You'll be paid on them first, second funding, third funding, many more to come after that, redraws, renewals, overrides. There's a ton of way to make money with us. Your commission will always be your full commission. You never drop the commission for lower tier deals versus higher tier deals. And there are no fees at all associated with working with Lexington.
Yeah, absolutely. We're here to support really your market and your clients as well. So, leveraging us as your backbone is everything. And at the end of the day, we understand these are your clients. They trust you. So, right, we treat like these clients, They're our internal employees. They're everything to us. All right. We want to help the best we can to find the best product for these clients along the whole way.
Absolutely. One thing we didn't really touch upon was the expectation of the client. So we do expectate our clients very well. Before we even submit the file, we would like to have a discovery call with them just to make sure that the process that we're going to be going through is something that even makes sense for them in the beginning. Because the last thing that we want to do, I mean, the partners, you guys are very busy. We're very busy, but the client is very busy as well. So we want to make sure that any option that we can present them will be one that makes sense.
You got that right.
Beautiful. Well, it was a pleasure. Hopefully we'll be back here again soon. Again, my name is Thomas McAuley. I'm the Director of Business Development.
I'm Joe Pepe.
And we will catch you guys on the next one.
All righty. Thanks so much.